this cannot be true. Mom, wake up, miss. Wake up. No, this cannot be true. Mama, wake up. You promised me you will never leave me. You said you will always be here.
Chuka, let us go home. It is too late. Home? Which home? The one you destroyed? What are you saying?
Don't pretend. I know everything now. You killed her.
I didn't mean to. But you did.
She trusted you, called you sister, ate your food, slept beside you, and you watched her die.
I was desperate. I was scared. I didn't want to be nothing.
So you chose to become a murderer?
It didn't start with hatred. It started with love. Yes, real love. In a quiet Igbo village where the morning smelled of fresh earth and palm wine, there lived two women under one roof, Amara and Ngozi. If you saw them then, you would never believe how this story ends. They laughed together, shared food from the same plate, bathed in the same river. At night, when the moon was full, they would sit outside and talk about their future children. Mine will be a girl, Amara would say, smiling. Ngozi would laugh. No, mine will be the first son of this house. And they would both laugh again. But listen carefully, because sometimes the people we laugh with are the same people who later cry because of us.
Then, something entered the house. It was small at first, so small nobody noticed, not even Ngozi. When Amara became pregnant, the house changed. Not suddenly, not loudly, just gently. Obina started smiling more. He brought meat home. He asked about Amara's health every morning. Have you eaten? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Ngozi watched. She said nothing, but her smile started to change. And then the words came. You know how villages are. Words travel faster than wind. One evening, an old woman said it. That pregnancy, it feels like a boy. That was it. That one sentence. That was when something broke inside Ngozi. Because in that moment, she didn't just see Amara anymore. She saw competition. She saw replacement. She saw herself becoming nothing. That night, Ngozi did not sleep. She lay on her mat, eyes open, heart racing, thoughts whispering. What if it's true? What if she gives him a son? What will happen to me? She turned, sat up, held her chest, and for the first time, Ngozi felt something dangerous. Not anger, not hatred, no, fear. And fear, when it grows, can turn a good person into something else. The night she walked into darkness. Nobody saw her leave. The moon was hidden. Even the wind was quiet. Ngozi walked into the forest, step by step, until she reached a place people don't go, a place where even birds don't sing. That was where she met him, the native doctor. He didn't greet her. He didn't ask her name. He just said, "The child must not be born, right?" Ngozi froze. Because how did he know? Her lips trembled. I don't want to lose my place. The man smiled. Not a good smile. A knowing smile. Then you must be ready to lose something else. And from that moment, Ngozi began to change. She still smiled, still laughed, still called Amara my sister. But inside,
something had shifted. Something dark. The first time she tried, it was a normal afternoon. The sun was high. The compound was quiet. Ngozi cooked carefully, slowly. Then she added something she was given, something she didn't understand. Her hands were shaking, but she did it anyway. When she served the food, Amara smiled. "Thank you, my sister." Ngozi almost dropped the bowl. And this is where it becomes painful, because Amara trusted her completely. She ate the food, finished everything, even thanked her again. Ngozi watched, her heart pounding, waiting, but nothing happened. Amara stood up, smiled, and even hugged her. "May God bless you," she said. That night, Ngozi could not sleep. Not because something worked, but because nothing did. Then the dreams started. Amara began to dream, dark dreams. Voices calling her, shadows following her. She would wake up sweating, holding her stomach, praying softly. And yet, every morning, she still smiled, still kind, still loving, still calling Ngozi my sister. But something was happening. Slowly, quietly, dangerously. Amara started feeling weak. Not always, just sometimes, then more often. Then one day, she held her stomach and whispered, "Something is not right." And then came that night, the night nobody in that village ever forgot. Rain fell like the sky was angry. Thunder shook the ground. Amara screamed. The labor had started. Women rushed in. Water boiled. Cloths gathered. Ngozi stood in the corner, frozen, watching, listening, breathing fast, because deep inside, she knew. She knew this was the moment everything would be decided. Then it happened. Amara held Ngozi's hand, tight, very tight, and said, "If anything happens to me," Ngozi's heart stopped. "Promise me you will take care of my child." Silence. Just rain. Just thunder. Ngozi's lips trembled. And for a second, just 1 second, she wanted to confess. She wanted to shout, "I am the one. I did this." But fear held her, and she said nothing. The baby cried, a loud cry, strong, alive, a boy. But Amara did not move again. And that was when Ngozi's punishment began. Not later, not in the future, no, that very moment. Because when she looked at the baby looked at her, and for some reason, she felt cold, very cold. Night became her enemy. She started seeing Amara, not in real life, but in dreams. Standing, watching, silent, sometimes smiling, sometimes crying, sometimes just staring. And every time Ngozi tried to run, she couldn't move. And the child grew. That boy, Amara's son, he grew strong, beautiful, gentle, everything his mother was. And the worst part, he loved Ngozi completely. He would run to her. "Hug me, Mama." Mama. That word, every time he said it, Ngozi felt something break inside her. Because now the real question begins. Not what Ngozi did. No, we already know that. The real question is, how long can a person live with guilt before it destroys them? Can someone who caused death ever find peace? And what happens when the child you try to destroy becomes the one who loves you the most? Because something was coming. Slowly, quietly, just like it started. Ngozi began to fall sick. Strange sickness. No medicine worked. No herbs helped. Her body was weak. But that was not the worst part. The worst part was she knew why. And one day, she called him, the boy, now a young man. He came, sat beside her, held her hand, the same way Amara once held hers. And Ngozi looked at him, really looked at him, and began to cry. Deep, painful, hopeless tears. And then she opened her mouth. My son, her voice was shaking. There is something you must know.